Hello, welcome to Tappy Crafting. I'm going to do something I've never done before, and that is to make a project without having practiced it before. I've got a few minutes before I have to go off to work, and I found some paper that I want to craft with, and I kind of had a little bit of an experiment with this on just literally on some blank paper and a pen and a pencil, and kind of tried to stick something together. But I thought that I would just try and do this off the cuff, something that I wanted to challenge myself to do. So I've just got some drawings that I did. I'm going to make a box, and I'm going to make a box to put these in. So I've done some measurements, still on the Valentine's Day theme. So I measured that, and I need something that's about 6 inches by 1.5 inches. So if you don't mind bearing with me, let's see what we can do. So I've got some 12-inch cardstock. This is Berry Burst, and I want to trim this to 6 inches. Now I'm thinking, do I want it 6 inches? I don't think I do. I think I want it 9 inches. This is what happens. I always stop and think, is that what I want to do? Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want that 9 inches wide. And then this side, I want to be 6.5. Now on the paper trimmer, the 6.5 is a little bit tricky to get absolutely accurate if you can't stick your head straight over it. And I can't do that because I will be, all you'll see is the top of my head. So there we are. There's my paper. So 9 by 6.5. So what I want to do is just put some score lines on this, and I want this one. I want a score line here of 1.5. Can you see that? Let's get that in shot. 1.5. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to make sure that the cutting blade is out of the way, and that all I've got is the scoring blade there. So 1.5 there, and I'll take it out, turn it, and 1.5 there. Okay, so I'm going to now turn it that way, and what I'm going to do is remember which way I did this. Yeah, so what I want to do is take this, take this to 6. So this paper is 6.5 inches wide. I want to take that there to 6 and just score that there like that, and then I'm going to turn it around. Am I going to turn it around? No, I'm not. Oh dear. I will get this right. Just challenging myself to think. And it's in the morning as well. Sometimes my brain doesn't actually behave very well in the morning. Okay, so 1.5. 3. I also have to keep checking that I've got that scoring tool, scoring blade there. 3, 4.5. And then we've already done that one. We've got there. So that's what we should have. Get that out of the way. We're done with that. So can you see that there? We've got a thin rectangle there. I've got 4 rectangles here, and I've got 4 squares there. So I'm just going to put my template up there so I know what I'm doing. And the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I'm in shot. That's it. And I'm going to take away that skinny rectangle there, and the same on the other side. So I'm just going to snip that there, like that. Take that off there, and I'm going to do the same on that side as well. So we've got that. The next thing I'm going to do is, what I want to do is leave this square here and that square there whole. But the rest of them, if I just show you on this side first, I'm going to cut up there I'm actually going to cut up each of these score lines. So there, there, and there. Remembering that that one has to stay whole. What do I mean by that? What I mean is I'm just going to take a wedge out of this one here, there, and then just cut that in half like that. I'm not going to do that to that one, but I'm going to do it to this one. I'm going to wedge it, wedge it, and cut it in half. And I'm going to do the same to this one as well. And I'm going to cut that one in half, like that. The other thing I'm going to do, now I'm here, so I need to mirror that, what I've got on here. And then for this bit, I'm just going to take a corner in there and just wedge that out there. So we've got that. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to cut up the score lines. And then cut up that one there. And then I just want to replicate what I've got here, so just do exactly the same. So I'm just going to try and do that better. Keep that one whole. I'm going to wedge it in there. And I'm going to cut that in half. I'm going to make that one a little bit straighter. It doesn't really matter because we're using that as a tab to create the box. It's this one that needs to be quite straight because we're actually going to see this one. So just going to wedge there, and then just take that off there. So that's what we're left with. So the next thing we're going to do is then fold and burnish our score lines. All of them. All of these tabs and flaps as well. So now we're ready to start constructing the box. I just need to get some glue on some of these tabs. So I just want some glue here. So if we're looking at this, that's the 1/2 inch tab there. I don't want glue here, but I want glue here and here. So this is the outside of the box. And I'm going to put some, I'm going to get the glue to work. There we are, third time lucky. I would normally use snail adhesive for this, but I've run out. And I forgot to put it on my next order. So I'm going to have to wait a bit longer for it. Right, so I've got glue either side on the tabs, either side of our full square. This is how we put the box together. We're going to turn that tab to the inside of that square, get the raw edge to meet the folded edge, and then stick that down. I'm going to do the same with this one. Tuck that in, raw edge meets folded edge. I want to get that as accurate as possible. Do the same on the other side. So fold that tab into the inside of that square, and then the same with this one. There we have our box. So that's what those tabs are for, to fold in there and that one to fold there. But looking at it like that, it's a bit boring. So we're going to jazz it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I've got this paper here which coordinates with this. And I've kind of, as I said at the beginning, I've kind of done this just off the bat, but that's just not going to fit. So now I've got to find some other paper. So let me just go and find some. So back again, and I have decided that instead of using the foiled side, I'm actually going to use the inside of this paper. The other side of this paper, it's not got the foiling on it, but it's actually really pretty. So what I'm going to do is that these are 1.5 inches by 6 inches. And I think what I'm going to do is make this 5 3/4 by 1 1/4. So I'm going to see if I can get some scrap out of that first, or get that out of some scrap, I should say. Let's get my paper trimmer, which I put away. So what did I say? 5 3/4. We get a nice border around it then. 5 3/4 by 1 1/4. There's something sticky on there. Let's just get stuck to it. So 1 1/4. I'm going to put that on there like that. Oh, that's quite pretty. That's not bad. So I need to make 1, 2, 3 of those. And then these squares, we're going to make them 1 1/4 square. So I'll make another couple of those in a minute, but I'll do these first. So we've got that one. Just going to square that off, that's not working. That's it, do it that way. So 1 1/4. We can get 2 out of here. By 1 1/4. So we've got some squares to go on the side there. Let's put those to one side before I lose them. What else did I have? I had that one that was 5 3/4 by 1 1/4, and I want another 2 of those, but that's not big enough. So that means I'm going to have to do this. Let's just take a strip of card that's 1 1/4. By 5 3/4. So we've got that one. And probably that one's, oh, it is going to be big enough. By 5 3/4. Put that away. So I've got 3 of those and 2 of those. And probably I should have put these on before I constructed the box, but there we are. We make mistakes. So I'm going to put some glue onto the back of this, and I would probably use wet glue for this, but for the sake of time. So I put some glue on there, and I'm just going to attach that centrally there like that. That's not bad for a first time. And then we're going to put another one here. I'm going to put that on that side. And then I want one, I'm not going to put one on the bottom, there's no point, I don't think. Should I? No. For the lid and the back and the front. So some more glue. So I would use wet glue, you could use double-sided tape, fast fuse, tear and tape, snail, whatever really takes your fancy. So I'm going to try and just position this centrally. I'll put that there. Oh, That's it, like that. One for the lid. And then we'll just do one for the back. Oops, nearly did it on the wrong side. Done that before now. So where am I putting this? On the back. That way. And there we are, just to give that box a little bit of interest. Great way of using some scrap, even though I've had to go and get a fresh sheet of paper. So I'm just going to fold that in there like that. And just tuck that front flap in there like that. So I'm going to get my treats and put them in there like that. Put them in there. But I want to put a stamp on there as well. I also want to put some ribbon around this. I'm just going to get a length of this, just so that when it holds it together, because we've got something in there, it's just pushing that out a little bit. So let's just get some of this trim. And how am I going to do this? Put that round like that. Twist it at the bottom, like that. And then in a minute we'll tie it into a bow, but let's do a little bit of stamping on this as well. Let's see if I can do some stamping without getting in a total mess. So I'm going to make some sort of tag or something to go on the top. So I'm going to pause again. I'm going to try and find something that I can make a quick tag out of and stamp it, and then I'll come back to you. So I found the Sure Do Love You stamp set, which is great for Valentine's Day. So I'm using this, and I'm going to use the Just For You image there. I've got my berry burst paper, and I've got this punch. So that kind of fits in there quite nicely, and we'll probably find some other embellishments about as well. So I need to get an ink block. I'll just rummage down here for that. Then put my stamp on there. This is a clear mount stamp. I just need that to stick on there. And I need to find some nice ink. Now, if I had more time, I would probably heat emboss this, but as I don't, I'm going to have to find something else. Don't know what yet. Let's kind of find possibly some Calypso coral, which I've got here somewhere. Everything's probably going to just crash down now. This might not work, but we'll give it a go. So I've got Calypso coral, and the reason I'm using that is that we've got berry burst here in this paper, but also this is Calypso coral. So it's nice to have a bit of a contrast. Let's see if it works. So I'm going to load up my stamp, and I'm going to put that. I've done that totally off camera. I'm going with it. And I'm going to take my stamp, and you're just going to line that up in there until you get to the point where you think it's straight. And I could sit here for ages thinking, is that straight? No, is that straight? I'm going with that. Done. And I think I want to embellish that a little bit. So I'm just going to have a little delve in my embellishment drawer. And I've got some rhinestones here just to set this off a little bit because we've got some sparkle in the trim. And let's have a little bit of sparkle in this. And I'm going to put one there like that. Just makes all the difference when you've just got a little bit of sparkle on this. I've taken one off, and there it is. Thought I'd lost that. And I'm going to put another one here. Like that. There we go. So the other thing that I need to do, what I want to do is I want to put this on here like that. And I want to put them on with some dimensionals. So here are the mini dimensionals, which is, these are ideal for this project. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put one of those on each side of that. Take off the backing paper. So I've got this tied up there like that. So I can now I've decided what I'm doing with this. Put a nice bow. And when I say a nice bow, my bow won't be nice. Anybody who regularly watches my videos will know that I don't do particularly nice bows. Just going to take that off there. Whoops. Like that. That's the best I'm going to get with a bow. I need to go on a bow making course. I'd probably fail. I'm leaving it. Right, so now I've got my stamp and I just want to put that, that's it, move that across there. It's now stuck to my table. So I'm going to put this here like that and like that. So what will happen when you undo this, the tinsel trim has actually just moved on, it's just underneath there, that will still move. There we are. Never done that before. I think that's turned out okay. Got some lovely Ferrero Rocher treats in there. Nice for Christmas, Valentine's Day, birthday, or I'm just thinking of you, or a thank you, or anything. I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you again soon. If you want to see some other videos, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Come and visit me on my blog. There is a link in the description bar below. All of the products that you see here are available at my Stampin' Up shop, and I've left a link for that as well. So please come and have a browse. And if you want to know more about how you can get a huge discount on these goods, please drop me a message and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you all again really soon. Bye bye.